What's going on today, YouTubers? Welcome to another edition of Walking Reviews. Today we're going to be taking a look at a new production knife from a company that I've had on here before and has certainly faced some adversity and some had their share of drama, let's put it that way. So this knife is made by this company, Factor Equipment. And if you look back on my channel, you'll see a couple of knives that I reviewed that were, for all intents and purposes, stolen designs. One of them was stolen from Giant Mouse Knives, and I forget where the other one was taken from. But obviously that didn't stop them from continuing production on other things. And as far as I know, this knife is not a stolen design. I've asked a few of my knowledgeable knife friends if they recognize this kind of design, and universally I got back that they did not. So I'm assuming, unless one of you guys can correct me in the comments, I'm assuming that this design is an in-house design by Factor Equipment. So let's go ahead and jump into the specs. We have a 3 3/4 inch drop point blade of CPM S35VN. The blade is absolutely nothing out of the ordinary as far as recent blade shapes go. You have this same top swedge you're seeing on a lot of them, a decent hollow grind. Is that hollow? Yeah, that's hollow grind. Decent hollow grind on the main bevel. It is a very high hollow grind, so that's pretty nice. But just a classic drop point blade shape. Very useful. I'm a big fan of the drop point blade. Let's see. There we go. Blade thickness, not too thick, but certainly not super thin blade stock either. But you still get a nice thin edge because of the high hollow grind. And then the blade has been given a stone wash and then a nice polish over top of it. So you can see it's like a reflective stone wash there. On the show side here you have the Factor Equipment logo, and on the locking side just the blade steel designation, S35VN. This is going to be a great blade for a user knife. These polished stonewash blades tend to hide wear extremely well, and hopefully the Factor Equipment heat treat is good enough to bring out all the strengths of the S35VN. I haven't been using it that much. I just got this the other day, but I wanted to kind of share it with you guys since it just came out. Really nice edge on there, very sharp. You could definitely shave with it if you wanted to. And then this really weird, I'm not sure what that's for, that little indentation there. Yeah, I have no idea what that, other than style or aesthetics, I'm not sure if that serves a purpose. But the flipper tab is fairly straight up, so it does ride just above the center of the pivot screw here, so it makes for very fast flipping action. Good jimping, so it catches your finger, just especially right there at the end. You get it catches your finger very nice. As far as the handle goes, 4.5 inches on the handle, so an overall length of 8 1/4 inches when the blade is open. That's a little bit bigger than I would normally carry, but because the handle is only 4.5 inches, that's kind of right in my wheelhouse. So if they can pack more blade into a 4.5 inch handle, hey, go for it. So handle is obviously titanium, and it's been given a really fine, like media blast almost, I guess. But it looks like it has like lines in there. You can see that. Yeah, there you go. It looks almost like an orange peel, but it's not. It's like a bead blast finish. You have this big groove here, another one towards the butt of the handle, and then this thin groove there. Obviously just for aesthetics, but it does look nice. It definitely aids in the grip as well. One thing I don't understand, and this is specifically addressing the handle, if you look down here where the lanyard hole is, you can see that they did this really sharp. I don't know if that was supposed to be some kind of tactical, like, window breaking thing in the titanium. I mean, if you really wanted that, why wouldn't you just make the back spacer out of, you know, tungsten carbide and have that extend? But they had the whole handle extends into this sharp point, so when it is resting in your hand and you're trying to flip it open, that can be a little annoying. It can be bothersome. I wish they had just rounded this part off. It doesn't seem to flow well with the design either. It's like a vestigial tail or something. It's just hanging off the edge. Yeah, but that's just like a minor complaint. So, overall length 8 1/4 inches. You do have, like I said, this quarter length back spacer of blue anodized titanium. That's got a little milling done there. I think it looks nice. Definitely unique. They didn't go with the full gear pattern, just sort of like a mirror image front and back. You also have the anodized titanium pocket clip, 3D milled. An anodized pivot collar, and this pivot screw, obviously it's just a flathead screwdriver, which I'm a huge fan of that. But that pivot screw looks exactly like a knife that I just reviewed that I think was a Bestech knife. That little miniature knife that I reviewed, and that was this exact pivot screw, obviously scaled down for that knife. But I'm wondering if the companies aren't either sharing production facilities or maybe owned by some of the same people. Yeah, that's really kind of suspicious, the matching pivot hardware, because I mean, it's exactly alike. If you go back and look at that review, you'll see that they're identical almost, except for size. So this knife does ride on caged ceramic bearings. It's extremely smooth. Very, very smooth. Blade just kind of drops shut with a little shake there. You can see the fit and finish is really well done. Blade is dead center. Lockup is really secure. You do have, as you could probably tell from the two screws, you have a lock bar insert. There you go, right there. Yeah, lock bar insert, ceramic detent. I love how all the edges are kind of rounded, except for, really oddly, this edge right here, which is not really rounded, it's just kind of sharp. But yeah, all the other edges are chamfered and contoured, so really well done there. The construction is well done. It's got a hidden or internal blade stop, which is another nice feature. There are a lot of things that are right with this knife. The one thing that I keep pointing out is just maybe that when it came to the design. I wish more people had gotten this in their hand and tried it before they gave it the final go-ahead, because that's certainly something that could have been avoided, or at least addressed. Maybe round it just a little bit more. But it's a unique looking knife. It's a little square looking, but the ergonomics are still fine. You don't have any real deep finger grooves anywhere, but it's contoured enough to where your hand locks in nicely. You do have these little grooves on the handle that aid in grip, and a nice run of jimping on the blade spine that locks your thumb in. So certainly very easy to use and comfortable to use. because that sharp point is not in your hand when you're gripping it, so that helps a lot. It's really just when you're flipping the knife open. It's also going to be really incredibly easy to adjust the pivot if need be out in the field, just because it's a flathead screwdriver and we have those things pretty much everywhere. Yeah, they did a nice job. They did a really nice job on this, which I kind of expected, given that they had done a nice job on the 2 previous knives. It's just that they had maybe stolen those, not maybe, they stole those designs. So I guess good for them to make a knife that is not based on a stolen design. Hopefully that was just maybe a growing pain and they didn't realize people were going to notice and actually care about it, because that is something that knife collectors, who are the people that are probably going to be buying a knife like this, that's the type of thing that usually they care about. You might get a few people that are okay with the design stealing, but for the most part, people would prefer you not do that. Anyways, guys, that's going to about wrap this up. Oh, weight-wise, we're looking at 4.2 ounces. Price-wise, you're looking at right at about $120. So that's pretty much a steal for this knife. The fit and finish is perfect, pretty much. The flipping action is awesome. You're getting top-of-the-line materials. So for 120 bucks or 100, maybe it's 130. This is definitely a super competitive option if you want those top-of-the-line materials and craftsmanship, while still paying those kind of Chinese company prices. So yeah, I'm a big fan of the knife. Hopefully Factor Equipment decides to stay away from stolen designs and keeps pumping out good stuff like this, in which case I'll keep reviewing them for you. Alright guys, take it easy.